So here's another question I got from Quora. Is it ethical to trademark a color? I'm Andrei Mincov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and here's my answer to this question. Before I go into answering the question, I want to first address a very common misconception that's probably the reason this question is even being asked. The misconception really flows from the lack of understanding how trademarks work. So when you get a trademark, you don't actually end up owning whatever is being trademarked by itself. Here's what I mean. When you trademark a color, when you trademark a word, or when you trademark a phrase, or when you trademark an image, or when you trademark a shape, or when you trademark anything, really, it doesn't give you the right to stop everyone from ever using that word, phrase, image, shape, or color ever again. What it does give you the right to do is stop competitors from using a similar name, phrase, image, shape, color, and so on, to offer for sale same or similar products or services for which the trademark was registered. So just to give you an idea about colors, one of the more famous colors ever trademarked is the magenta color, trademarked by T-Mobile. So when they got their trademark on magenta color, they didn't suddenly acquire the right to go to, all paint manufacturers and tell them, we own magenta, you can't make magenta color anymore. They didn't suddenly get the right to go after, let's say, Adobe and say, you can't use magenta color in your Photoshop, right? They couldn't go after people who use magenta in their paintings. They couldn't go after people who use magenta in a million other situations. The only thing they can do with their trademark for the magenta color is stop other communications companies from using magenta color in their branding to offer products and services that are too close to what T-Mobile offers, right? Same way with UPS, with their brown trucks, right? They don't own brown by itself. What they own is the right to stop other courier companies from using brown on their trucks to deliver packages, right? Same thing with Tiffany Blue, right? They don't own the blue. What they own is the right to stop others from coloring their boxes a certain way, coloring their bags a certain way, and so on and on and on and on. So really what this boils down to, it's a very limited monopoly over a common resource. And so the only reason they get this limited monopoly is because they can prove to the Trademarks Office two things. That the color is capable of distinguishing their products and services in the eyes of the marketplace, and that they actually have a history of being able to show that the color indeed distinguishes their products and services in such a way that, again, people recognize that the color is not functional to the product and services, that it's not just arbitrary, in that it's actually capable of distinguishing those products and services. And that is massively important because like with common names or common shapes, the whole idea is that the monopoly that's being granted is very limited. So just to give you another example, word Apple, right? Or the tagline, just do it. It's as common as it gets, but because they've got a trademark, they don't have the right to stop others from using the word Apple or the phrase "just do it," or same way as the color brown with UPS, or there's so many trademarks that are just basic shapes, circles and squares. So what that does is, when you file a trademark, if the Trademarks Office says, well, we're not really sure if it distinguishes you or is capable of distinguishing you from everyone else, then you have to show them evidence. You can show them that you've been running those brown trucks for a certain amount of time, and people actually came to recognize that when they see a brown truck, it's that UPS, right? It's the UPS courier who's gonna possibly bring you something, or maybe bring you 6 out of 7 boxes, as happened to me a while ago. But that's a completely different story. Or when you see a storefront in magenta and it says something, and you see that there's a phone there on the window, you could probably guess it's T-Mobile because of that association that they've created between the color and their particular products and services. So to go back to your question, is it ethical to trademark a color? Yeah, sure, why not? If the color allows them to help the market to tell their products and services apart from everybody else's, there's nothing unethical for them to not own it. It's actually unethical for them not to, because if they don't trademark it, then their competitors can come in and use the same color for their products and services. And if there's a good reason for everyone to use the same color, then of course it's not something that the Trademarks Office will allow. But if the choice of the color has nothing to do with the particular products and services, and so if there's no shared value in that color other than for others to rip you off, then I would say it's unethical for the brand owner to not protect their brand, because they are allowing confusion to be sown in the minds of the potential customers, and that's wrong. So it's perfectly ethical to trademark a color, but understand that when they do trademark that color, they can only do so much with it. All they can do is prevent their competitors from using the same color to offer the same products and services or similar products and services to the market. Now, I hope this answers your question and provides you a better framework of understanding how trademarks work. And if it did, great, because we post these videos every single day. I bet you're going to find out more useful stuff if you subscribe now and choose to get notified whenever the next video goes live. Now, if you got a question for me, a question that I have not answered yet, make sure you comment below, and I will do my best to shoot another video to answer your question. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.